On patch 12.22, Riot Game introduced jungle pets and major jungle changes in hopes of diminishing exploits, general balance, and making jungle more accessible to new players. And if I might say, most jungle mains don't like this change. The new jungle change killed the jungle and the motivation for playing jungle, and you get comments like, I lost inspiration to play jungle, or jungle has been dumbed down, and I don't blame them. The only reason why I started playing jungle is the difficulty it presented, but over the time, it has been dumbed down to suit players. When a game adapts to player rather than players adapting to the game, that is never a good sign. Even though I say this, there will always be people who will argue against it. As far as I can remember, every season started with a jungle change, and all the jungle main had to adapt to that change. And granted, the changes are minor and some major, but compared to laners, the jungle change are more frequent and adaptation was more frequent. Although the changes still hasn't killed the creative jungle pathing aspect, Riot is giving out changes that no one wanted. I understand that making jungle changes and making it more easier for new player will encourage new player to play jungle, but that is just not the case. Majority of player will stick to the role that they're used to playing, and some people will play the role for a while, but then they will go back to their original role. In my server, jungle was always in priority queue, and even after the jungle change, it's still in priority queue. Although Riot Game changed mechanics to the game, but the main job of a jungler still hasn't changed. Jungle is still a very important part of the game, and it serves a very important role in the game. You can almost say jungler has a lot of responsibility, and responsibility alone can drive off so many players from the role and just stick with the lane. By making jungle easier, what Riot is essentially doing is making veteran jungle change how they play jungle slightly, and making the role even more dangerous. Dangerous? What do you mean? Well, let me explain. Jungle is basically who can optimize their time and clearing the best. The more easier the game is, the easier it is to optimize it. I mentioned a few minutes ago that jungle has been dumbed down for years. Well, in patch 11.10, catch-up experience was added. And now you can see the full effect on this patch. The game has came to a point where you don't have to do any camp, just gank bot lane and you will still be a level above enemy jungler. Okay, I'm over exaggerating, but that is exactly what it feels like. Dratute made a nice analysis on his stream about the exact matter, and Tyler1 seems to have the same kind of opinion about jungle. In Dratute's stream, the Rek'Sai got 3 camps bot side, then for 2 minutes not doing anything, just sitting in a bush bot lane, then dies to a tower dive. Note that Rek'Sai still haven't done anything, basically sitting on 12 CS. After he comes back, clears topside, and in terms of level, Rek'Sai is the same level as Kha'Zix, who got a kill, cleared most of his camp, and has an assist. Now this all happened 2 months ago. How much of this has changed? Nothing. They just made jungle more easier. If that wasn't enough for you, they made jungle more easier. They made it even more dumb. If a laner did this, the game would be over. Again, I'm over exaggerating. My point is, in higher elo, players will see this potential and play the role to get free elo, sure, but in lower elo and new player who you're targeting will not play the role just because you dumb down the role. You will see a massive increase of junglers, but after a while, everyone will go back to their own main role. Just keep the beauty of junglers. People who likes the role will play the role. People who like responsibility will gravitate towards that role and stop dumbing down the role for other people. A game shouldn't adjust to players. The players should adjust to the game. But yeah, that's my rant about new jungle changes, and I'm tired of jungle changes every season. Even though it's little changes like jungle item changes, to smite changes, to map and dragon soul changes, to jungle pet, stop changing jungle every season.